Hi guys, we've got the Lexus NX 450h. This is the plug-in hybrid from Lexus. This is what they're doing. There's a number of interesting things about this car, a number of firsts for Lexus, which we're going to get into. This one is the Sonic Grey color. It's £61,000. It's the Takumi edition with the sunroof, so it's top of the spec car. It has about 305 horsepower, 4-cylinder engine, and of course plug-in hybrid. So let's take a quick look around the car, look at the space, practicality, and then take it for a little bit of a drive. So it's got very much a signature Lexus look about it. You cannot identify it as anything else, especially with that spindle grille, which seems to be getting even bigger on the car now, but it melds in quite nicely with the rest of the car, especially in this color. It's a substantial looking car. It's not the baby of the range, it's sort of the middle spec version, but it's hugely popular, has a loyal following, one of the best sellers for the brand, obviously. Now here's one of the key changes, obviously, because if you look in here, you'll actually see that it is a charger. So there you go, plug-in. It's interesting that it's got that one, it hasn't got the two. But anyway, that should do the job. So it gives you a 40-mile electric-only range on the car. It's now got the light bar at the back here, and the Lexus script goes across the back of the car. So let's have a look at the boot space in this thing. And it's all powered, of course. As you'd expect, fairly spacious. The floor is a bit higher than I might have imagined, although that does make it flush with the loading lip at the same time. Though there is an underfloor compartment with some bits and pieces there, and also place to hide away the cable. So that's actually in a sense quite handy. And of course you do get the split folding seats as well, and the usual hooks and pockets and stuff like that. So let's just close that and see what the rear space is like. So we are getting into the rear of the car. I think the front seat is set quite far back, as you'll see when I get you back into frame. So it feels a little bit tight. I think when I get into the front, I'll know how far back that is, or whether that is actually suitable for me, again, for my 6'2" frame with long legs. Being that the long legs do feel a little bit cramped at the moment in here, although foot room, there's plenty of foot room. That's not an issue, loads of room there. Shins not an issue, it's just here, it's a little bit tight. Otherwise, it's very spacious, very nice. It's got this fantastic leather upholstery. I like this sort of grained wood trim there. That's very nice. And of course, the usual sort of things. Now, one of the other interesting things is obviously it's got the soft closing doors, and it doesn't have a handle. It has a touch button there. So actually to open it, so actually before I open it, it's got heated seats, got USB and a power supply there, and an armrest, ISOFIX child seat and all the rest of it. Plenty of headroom, so that's not an issue. And actually you feel like you're sitting a little bit higher here actually. It's interesting. So you see that, I feel like I'm sitting a little bit higher than the front seat, so it's got that sort of theatre type seating arrangement going on, which actually helps with people that have claustrophobia. So in that sense, it's quite good. Right, so just to show you that, so I pressed that, and that's what, there you go. So you press that, and then you push. You press it and you push. Takes a bit of getting used to. Let's see what the front is like. So another thing to note on the car is that the handle is not pull, there's now just a button there. Again, so you just touch the button and the door releases. And then you get inside, and then the other big thing that you notice straight away, look at the size of that screen. Is that, oh, then this seat, by the way, I was going to say, how far, is this seat further back than it should be? Yes, it is, because I am definitely going to have to move this forward. For my, I'm going to move it quite a bit forward actually. So again, that actually bodes well for the space behind. How do I start? There you go, power button is there. So let's start it up, and then that should show me that, like, oh, look at that, that's nice, look at that, that's massive. And incidentally, I've just noticed that's also digital right there as well. But that screen is massive, that's entirely digital. Now here's the other big thing about this car. That's a wireless charger, but no touchpad. At last, Lexus have seen the light and understood that they need to get rid of that. So you got the normal, that's an interesting lever. It doesn't actually move, I think that's interesting. But you have a massive, that is massive. That's a TV, look at that. That's huge, but it's a touchscreen. So look at that, let's get the AC up and running, and see that, oh yeah, here we go. Put that temperature down, look how lovely that is. That's really nice, on auto, there you go. That's really good. And then you got this, and then I can move the steering, there you go. Pull that out, that's all the way out now. but it's very nicely done. It's very comfortable. That, to me, these things are off-putting, but let's give it a try. Let's leave it in that mode. I'm sure that if I do that, yeah, it goes back to, actually it just goes dead. So I wonder if, oh yeah, no, I see what's happening there. There. So let's adjust it now. So I'm happy. If I need to change it, I can change it. Actually, yeah, it's interesting that, because you need to change it again. Sunroof, let's let a bit of light in, and then let's take it for a little bit of a drive. I'm expecting this to be quite a silent thing. Seeing that it is a Lexus. So let's take it for a little bit of a drive now and see what this plug-in hybrid. So so this is interesting. You push it to, oh, interesting. So the lever is like a little bit manual, so you push it to the right and then you push it down. And actually, I can then push it into sports as well. Okay, interesting. So, and how do I then, a neutral, drive. Okay, so later on we'll try sports. We'll do that then. We're on that little road here that's actually initially very, very bumpy. And again, that fidgetiness is coming through on this car. Plug-in hybrid, batteries in the floor pan. So you just kind of get that rigidity sensation. But otherwise, it's the experience until that point is so serene and so quiet and just so sublime, if you like. And I'm expecting more of that once we get out onto smoother roads. The steering has a little bit of a weight to it, so that's quite good. It's not as light as you might have thought. I'm wondering at what point I might switch that mirror back to normal, but actually, so far, it's okay. The problem I always have with these is focusing on them, because of, obviously, as somebody who wears spectacles, and as somebody who's like, the spectacles are configured for, so these are varifocals, but again, so I'd have to do that, to actually focus on that, because the lower part of my glasses is for readings, and it's a little bit closer than the distant view. So that's where the difference is. Cannot connect to wireless. Okay, cancel that. I don't want to connect to wireless, so that's absolutely fine. Wow, so it picks up speed quickly. There you go. It's got to move on straight away. So definitely something to be said for the hybrid powertrain. The ride is certainly settled down. I think on the smoother surfaces, you can pick up the bumps and stuff there a little bit, but certainly on the smoother surfaces, it's just so much more composed than it is just on that rougher surface that we had earlier. It's picking up a little bit of speed now. It's interesting. The noise it's making is a sort of sci-fi noise. It's like, and it's almost like it's definitely, there's a kind of sci-fi noise thing going on. That when you sort of press the accelerator, it's like it's winding up, or like a little whine that's going on there for some kind of clever electric motors or something like that. That's what's going on. You are definitely rolling about in this car. Maybe it's time to go into the sports. Oh gosh, wowzers! That had an immediate impact. The moment I put it into sports mode, it just leapt forward like a crazy thing. And it just feels like it's tight now. Well, the body roll is still there, it seems like, but certainly the acceleration is there, and the eagerness has certainly improved a little bit now. So that's certainly different. Okay, right, I was seeing where the understeer would come in, and there was only a hint of understeer, but actually it held on very, very well indeed, and did quite well. So there you go. So actually, this car, although the funny thing is, from up here, I'm really getting moved around. So it's like, okay, this is an SUV, it's a family SUV, it's high, you're sitting high and you're getting moved around because of that, because of the way the center of the gravity is. But on the other hand, it's not a slouch, and it wants to move. It actually wants to move. It actually wants to do this. So that's kind of cool, really. I've got an Alpine in front of me, and I've got some sort of quick BMW behind me. So I'm in quick company here, and I'm probably holding the BMW up, to be fair, but that's what it is, right? So there you go. To be honest, it is everything that you would expect it to be. It's a nice, big, comfy, practical Lexus that has all the kit, but also all the refinement and all the sophistication that you would expect. And now, of course, they've addressed a lot of the main issue was with the trackpad. That's now gone for a much better, massive, touchscreen, which is a big improvement, but also lots of nice little touches as well. So really, it's one of those cars that, you know, the owners of this car, or the people that own these cars, buy these cars, they love them for a reason, and they've no reason not to love this new one as well, because it's still doing everything that you expect this Lexus to be doing. There you go. Let me know what you think of this generation Lexus. Have you got one? Because I reckon a lot of you might have these ones, because they are a very astute and smart choice. That's what they are. Let me know in the comments below.
A big shout out and thanks to Jay Williams over at Air Technic, who are top tier sponsors of Brown Car Guy. Check them out at Air Technic Co UK for exhausts, brakes, suspension and body kits. Plus our other major sponsor, Nayagen Solutions. Much appreciation also to tier 4 sponsors, Muhammad Ali Humaid, Tom Conway Gordon and Reza Adil. And of course all these other guys who supporting on Patreon. Brown Car Guy is eternally grateful. Hey, think about joining them over at patreon.com Brown Car Guy. If you can't, don't worry. Just make sure you're subscribing to the YouTube channel and website. Plus follow on social media by searching for Brown Car Guy.